Are you worried that you might never overcome your chronic fatigue syndrome and that everything you've tried just isn't working? Our member at Reorigin, Vera, felt the exact same way. At Vera's lowest point, they had brain fog, constant pain, and noise sensitivity. They were even entirely bedridden. But their story is an inspiring one for anyone who may be struggling with the same symptoms. With the help of the Reorigin program, Vera went from having multiple symptoms and being completely bedridden to being able to engage in the world again. Vera went from being housebound to being able to go out, be in nature, and even be around friends and family. With Reorigin, Vera learned various tools to help them calm their nervous system and respond differently to their symptoms. Vera is slowly, gradually getting better and better each day. Here's Vera's story.
I can see my son regularly because I'm not being able to have him. That was really hard. So he spends here 2 or 3 nights a week now. It's great. And also that we can do it in a predictable manner. We have a schedule. It's not just like, okay, when I'm feeling better, then you can come. But we have a schedule. And even if I'm not doing that well on that day, he can come, which is huge.
Right, Vera. So please can you share your first name, the main conditions that you have suffered from, and how long you have suffered?
So I'm Vera. I live in Budapest, Hungary, and I have ME/CFS, and it started 2 years ago, end of 2022.
Okay, can you just take 1 to 2 minutes to explain what your life was like before your illness? What activities did you partake in, and how did you show up in the world?
So before the illness, I had a full life. I had a small business. Still have, got a loving partner, a kid. I did sports. I love bouldering. I went bouldering like twice a week at least. I had met friends. I had a good life. At the same time, I also had a lot of stress. Running my own business, it's a lot of stress. I also had medical issues. I had 2 surgeries for endometriosis. I was also volunteering a lot, which was great, but also stressful. And then, general things like pandemic, climate change, those are like stressful for everybody.
Okay, how did your conditions affect your quality of life? So just take a few minutes just to describe what your worst day would look like. So what were your limitations? What was your emotional and physical state? We'll start with that.
My worst, it took me a while to get really unwell, but I did manage to get there. The worst time of my illness and my life pretty much was a year ago, like 2023 fall. I was bedbound. I could only go to the bathroom, and that was already very hard going to the bathroom. I could not do anything. I had constant headaches, brain fog, muscle cramps, crazy noise sensitivity. Like everybody had to whisper around me because I couldn't bear noises. I had these noise canceling earphones plus earplugs at the worst times because just outside noise, like construction noise from the building, anything was just making me feel super bad. So I couldn't really I'd read, I couldn't use screens. I seriously questioned what's the point of life at that point. Obviously, I couldn't take care of my kid, so he went to live with my parents, his grandparents. Obviously, I had to stop work a while before that. So my partner basically took care of me 24/7, and it was horrible. It was just pure purely horrible. Oh, I was also depressed, but it's like not a surprise when you're like
Shock.
this. Yeah,
I feel you.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then the last part of that question is, how did it affect your work, which I think we covered, and your relationship with friends, family, and children, and your partner?
Yeah, well, basically, I had to stop work. I could not see my child. I could not see my parents. Well, I could see my partner. She was taking care of me, but we could not really talk about anything. With my friends, I had like very, very limited contact. We switched to voice messages, or like very short voice messages when I was up for it. And that was it.
Okay, so can you describe what other therapies you tried and how much money you spent, first of all? I'll break that down.
Yeah. So the doctors in Hungary are absolutely uneducated about CFS, so they were not helpful at all. Sometimes they were even harmful with their recommendations. So I stopped like seeing them fairly soon. Like it was not even them who diagnosed me with CFS. Kind of, it was my partner who told me after, I don't know, a couple months, that, have you heard about this like CFS thing? Maybe this is like seems to be like something you are having. Anyway, so I tried pacing, which is super important, and I think it's a part of the puzzle, and you have to do pacing if you want to do better, but in itself it was not enough. So only with pacing I was just getting worse. I did not try really other therapies because basically what I read on the internet was, there's no cure, there's no point, everything is useless. I tried a ton of supplements for a ton of money. Most of them did not help.
Okay, that's that one. So, how did you find out about Reorigin, and how did you initially feel about it? So, did you have any hesitations when you were going to join?
Yes. So at the point that was my worst, like last October, I was introduced to brain training by a fellow CFS patient who also came from like a very like scientific evidence-based background, and so she understood my skepticism and had the answers, because like, yes, I was very skeptical, partly because both in the Hungarian CFS community and on the Reddit CFS groups that were available to me at the moment, prey training is often considered as like snake oil or a ripoff. So I was super skeptical. Again, I'm coming from a very like science-based background. It's important for me. I don't believe in homeopathy, or I don't know, like, like, that's me. Anyway, so I had to open up to the possibility of this, but again, like these communities were actively hindering my getting better, and they're still like hindering, and it's really bad, because they are basically telling you that there's no hope. There's no hope. Give up. Wait for the doctors to come up with a magic pill. Instead of like, hey, you can't. There are options to get better, and you can get better. Yeah. So that's my journey to it, and then I used there's this ME/CFS recovery program guide by Liz and Lindsay, who give the detail about tons and tons of like these recovery programs, and based on that guide I chose Reorigin.
Okay, so can you just walk us through your experience once you joined Reorigin? So, what did you like about the approach, and what made you stick with it?
Okay. So I started doing the program. At that point, I could not watch videos. I was just too much. Videos were too much for my brain. I could only listen to them, and I could only listen in like 2 minutes increments. And then I had to take like a 10-minute break. So that's how I did the program. And but what was super helpful for me, one, that it's mobile friendly. Like a lot of the other programs seem to be also like good, but just like developed a while ago and not mobile friendly. And I could not use the computer. Like it was important for me to be able to just use the mobile and that it's easy. The videos were short, so like usually more than 2 minutes, but it's not like a 20-minute or 30-minute video that I had to break up in like 10 bits. And also very well explained, like supremely well explained. I work in plain language, which means I work in explaining things in a way that people understand, and I can appreciate that this is in plain language. This is very well done. So just as much detail as you need, not more. Very nicely structured, built on each other, super easy to follow. So I saw results very quickly. My noise sensitivity, for instance, improved like in just a few weeks, and then everything else improved slowly. So there were no like, I don't know, big miraculous changes, but like just like slowly, like everything improved, and I had a little bit more energy and a little bit more concentration, and I could get up for a little bit more. So that absolutely kept me motivated. I'm still healing, by the way. I'm not healed completely. I'm sure we're going to talk about that as well, but I'm progressing all the time. And what I really appreciated is the holistic approach of the program, like explaining how your mind influences your body and how the body influences the mind, and how this is all like an interconnected system. Another thing I really appreciate is the community, that you have the forum, that you have the weekly Q&As, that you're not alone. You can always ask help for the forum, or ask for help on the forum. The members answer, the coaches answer. You can really reach out for support whenever you need it, and you get that support. And also that you see other members' wins, like other members' progress, and that just gives you hope. And hope is like absolutely crucial. After you've been told again and again that there's no hope, you have to accept this and live with this for the rest of your life.
I'm finding it really hard not to interrupt and go, over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you. Okay. All right. So if you participated in group coaching, can you tell us a little bit about that? So what was your favorite part? And if you've done it multiple times, just what kept you coming back?
I participated in group coaching or momentum groups twice. I loved it. I loved having a weekly, like a fixed point in my week when I knew I'm gonna see other people, hear about their wins, cheer each other on. Oftentimes I did not feel up for showing up actually at the groups, but I made myself show up, and I never regretted the decision, because like I always boosted my mood. Even when I was like, oh, my brain is not good. And then, I still went, and maybe I turned off the camera, or maybe I closed my eyes, but I was there, and I heard other people, and just engaging and being part of that positive energy just helps. It helps you. And seeing other people doing better week by week, even if not all of them, not continually, but like in general, you see them progress, and that helps you keep your faith in recovery, because you lose faith a lot of the times. That's the way it goes. And then the more and more you see that, no, I can get out of this hole, I can get out of this other hole, then it helps build up your faith. And also it just helps your mood, no matter what, to see other people like happy and cheerful. Yeah. So just as misery loves company, happiness loves it too. That's what I saw.
Love that. Okay. Okay, so can you just take a couple of minutes to describe what your life is like now you've completed the program, and what would you say has been your biggest win so far?
As I told you, I'm far from being recovered, but I have made enormous progress. I am healing slowly, but I am healing steadily. I stopped being afraid that one setback is going to kick me back into where I started, and that's huge. I still spend most of my days at home, but I regularly leave the house, at least for a little bit. I go to the local park, I enjoy the sunshine, or I go to the cafe next door with my partner, have a croissant. At home also I can move around mostly freely. I can do some of the chores. I can fix myself a meal. Like, I don't need 24/7 caring, not even close. I started working just a few hours, like here and there, but definitely back on track. I can concentrate now, like I do whatever mental work. But I can concentrate now for a full hour, usually in one go, and that's pretty good. Like for an hour, it's like you can do a lot of things in 1 hour. Oh, I also had POTS. Forget to mention that. That is gone, basically. My headaches are gone. My muscle cramps are gone. My light and noise sensitivity is gone. I still have brain fog and still get tired easily, but I do rest regularly, and I take like preventative rest throughout the day to minimize these symptoms, and I can usually. So I do believe I can heal completely, and also I'm not depressed anymore, which is useful. I did start taking antidepressants, which were also like crazy, like helpful, but now I'm tapering them off. And most importantly, I can see my son regularly, because like not being able to have him, that was really hard. So he spends here 2 or 3 nights a week now. So it's great, and also that we can do it like by now in a predictable manner. We have a schedule. It's not just like, okay, when I'm feeling better, then you can come, but we have a schedule. And even if I'm not doing that well on that day, he can come usually, which is huge. And it's great for him and for me. So he's also doing better. But because previously I used to just like cancel everything when I felt worse, when I had a dip. I just like, okay, everything is canceled. And now I can like, okay, I'm feeling worse, but I can move forward in the presence of discomfort. I can do this, I can do that. Okay, I won't do that. But, so huge progress.
Thanks, Vera. Okay, so was there a particular moment or exercise in the program that had a significant impact on you? And if so, can you describe what it is or was?
Okay, so there is not like one single thing that helped me, but But I think that's good, because what I really like about Reorigin is the flexibility. It's not a one-size-fits-all program. It's not like you do this one thing and then you'll be fine. It teaches you a lot of tools, and it also teaches you a framework like that holds it all together. And then you get to experiment, like what works for you. What works for you for relaxation? I found, I don't know, yoga nidra and similar things that help me a lot. But it offers like plenty of solutions. So for a person who just wants to be told what to do, like it can also work. I'm not saying it can't, but I believe that to heal from these conditions, you need to put together like the pieces of the puzzle somewhat yourself. So, which leads me to that recovering is a lot of work. It has been a lot of work, and it is a lot of work for me, but it's okay. But it's not, again, it's not a magic pill. It's not a magic exercise. For me, it's more of a mindset change, like to pay more attention to my body, to pay more attention to my needs, to be more in the present, to do positive reframing. And this was, for me, was crucial, like understanding the difference between toxic positivity and positive reframing, that you can look at your illness and you can find meaning in it. You can make meaning out of it. Like you can be like, okay, yes, this situation sucks, but at least, I don't know, it brings me closer to my friends, or it helps me like figure out my issues. But it's not the same as saying, it's good that you got ill because there was a reason behind it. No, there's no reason behind it. It sucks. I hope I can swear. Like mildly swear, not horribly. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. And yes, sucks isn't even a swear word, Vera.
No, I don't know.
No. How has your emotional and mental state improved since you completed the program?
Well, there's no such thing as completed the program. Like I'm still doing it. Like, yes, I completed the 28-day videos like in the first, I don't know, 2 months. But yeah, I'm not depressed anymore. I got my faith back that I can recover. I'm just enjoying life again. Like it can still be boring to rest so much. And there's only so much time you can like spend being present in your body and whatnot. I'm sure some people can do it more, but you know, I'm not like bored and in pain all the time. I'm actually doing things with my life, so it's incomparable. Absolutely.
So what would you say to those people who are struggling with chronic illness and considering Reorigin?
Well, I think if you're struggling with CFS or anxiety or chronic illnesses, these types, I would definitely give it a go if you're willing to work for a change, because you have to work on it. Again, not a magic pill. Obviously, I can't say, and nobody can say that it will cure you. But I'm 100% sure it will at least help with your symptoms, if nothing else, and with your mindset. So I think that's already a great win. Also, like most of the information, I would even say like 99% of the information here is available on the internet. There's nothing revolutionary here, but for me that's a good thing, because again, Ben and Katie do not pretend to have found the magic bullet, the magic formula, but and it's a big but. They combine the relevant and helpful information. They explain that like succinctly. They build a program that you can follow, like step by step. It guides you. It helps you build good habits. So there's also like the science of habit building and science of small wins incorporated. And they keep refining and adding to the program with the help of a lot of other people. So again, you don't have to like you can find this information somewhere else, but I really think it's worth your money to invest in this one, because it's so hard to put this all together, like so hard.
Yeah, thanks, Vera. Okay, and can you share a hopeful message for those people that are just starting their journey with Reorigin?
Yes. If you're just starting out with Reorigin, I recommend engaging with the community as much as possible, because the community here is wonderful. Like, engage with the forum. I know it can be overwhelming, so like you can turn off notifications for for a start. That's very helpful. But you can participate at the weekly Q&As. Even if you can't participate, you can listen to the recording. It just helps you, like, hearing the same things over and over again. It helps your brain build these new pathways, and again, we're all here to support each other in healing. Like, use that.
Okay, and how would you explain to Reorigin to someone that had never heard of it before?
Okay, so if I had to explain Reorigin to somebody who has never heard it before, I would have to start with the limbic system, actually, and not with Reorigin. So the limbic system is responsible for alerting you when there are signs of danger and mobilizing your body's resources to combat that danger, to avoid that danger. So you see the lion, your heart speeds up, you start breathing rapidly, you get ready to flee, right? That's one scenario. And then if you're under stress for a long time, then your limbic system can get out of whack. It will perceive danger when there's no danger, actually. So you get into this heightened state, this activated state, without a good reason, and then you just like can't get out of it. You can't get back to the restful state where your body can heal itself, the parasympathetic state. So all the physical symptoms that we're struggling with are like the brain fog and headaches and POTS and everything, are just a consequence of this continuous heightened state. And so the main goal of the Reorigin, now we get to Reorigin, is to teach your limbic system, your nervous system, how to get back to that restful state, how to avoid overreacting to these stimuli, how to not go into this heightened, like this fight or flight phase and or state. And Reorigin offers both top-down, like cognitive tools, like when you say, "Hey, my dear brain, it's fine, we're okay." It's like when you try to use your brain to affect your body. And it also uses somatic tools, like when you use, I don't know, relaxation, deep breathing, movement. So when you try to calm down your body to affect your brain. So it uses both of these tools and combines these tools to help you retrain your brain and body, because it's again, that's, for me, that's a misnomer, because it's not just brain retraining, because brain retraining is it keeps up this dichotomy, like this artificial dichotomy between the brain and the body when the two things are like supremely interconnected. So you're not just retraining your brain, you're retraining your brain and body together. Yeah. I'm not sure you wanted this long an answer, but this is what I can provide.
It's a great answer. It's like a science session with Vera. Thank you. Okay. And then the last question is there anything else that you would like to share about your experience?
Yes. I had countless realizations over the past year. And I'm not going to through all of them now because then we're going to stay here for like a day. But I learn more and more about myself every day. But one of the most important messages I've learned is that you're always training your brain. Always. The question is, how much of it do you do consciously? Because usually we just don't. And Reorigin helps you do it consciously, but it just happens every second of every day anyway. So again, how much of it do you do consciously? And the other thing I wanted to share is that I often liken my brain to a washing machine. It's just like going on and on and on and on and on, and it never stops. Like there's no respite. But during the last year, I can see my brain. I experience my brain like slowing down in a good way, not in a like. There's also the bad way with brain fog and whatnot. But like slowing down in a good way, and to have the occasional quiet with, again, a lot of like relaxation, meditation. Like you have to teach your brain to do it, but it's so nice to have a respite sometimes from those thoughts. Oh, I really appreciate that.
Thanks, Vera.
Thank you so much for sitting down with Vera and listening to how they are learning to overcome their symptoms of chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and much, much more. We are so excited for the progress that Vera has made, and we're also excited to help you. If you are struggling with chronic fatigue, light or sound sensitivity, chronic pain, or any other symptoms, Reorigin is here to help you learn to calm your nervous system and rewire your responses to your symptoms. If you'd love to learn more about the Reorigin program, you can visit us at reorigin.com/program. Hang tight with us to learn more about Coach Cameron's journey at Reorigin and how he went from chronically ill to a Reorigin coach.